We are doing our Pokemon Nuzlocke still. Hopefully we're gonna get badge number 4 today. We defeated Whitney last time, which just makes me feel so good in so many places that I probably can't share on Twitch. But you know, and who did we beat it with? We beat it with the good old king himself, the Rack-Cack. He wrecked. He wrecked shop. On our team, we want Oddish, Mr. Space Odyssey herself. Kind of want to take Hip Lords. We'll take Hip Lord. Kind of want to get Alice up there. Alice is such a really good wall. I feel like she can wall the world. So let's do it. We're talking about my birthday because my birthday is in technically 2.5 hours, but because it's October 16th. No, my official age is +1. Carry the yes. So my official age, I'll actually be turning old. I've been old for a couple years now, but I feel like this year I truly am old. In this mall, I remember one time I had to open up, I had to be at the store in the mall at like, probably like 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning. Just because I had to do some counting or whatever. And I get there and I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna have to sneak into the mall because they're not gonna let us in. The mall's closed. So I get to the front door and it's open. And I'm like, weird. Why is this mall open? And I go and I see the security guards and I know them pretty well. And I'm like, hey, you guys are open right now? Why is the mall open? Why are you guys here even? And they kind of looked at me and they were just like, the morning walkers. And I was like, what? They're like, the morning walkers. I was like, I don't understand. He's like, give it 5 minutes. I was like, all right. And so I kind of was like, well, I'm going to go to my store. I have to do some stuff. And he's like, no, you'll want to see this. It's like, all right. So I stood and I talked to him for a bit. And sure enough, 5 minutes later, like a wave of old people just slowly stepped into the mall from one opening, from one pair of doors. And they slowly slurped in. Tons of, like, I'm talking, like, couldn't count how many old people there were. And this is not a big mall. And they just kept walking in slowly. And, like, I was like, what is happening? And he's like, every day they do this. It's a gathering. And I was like, what? I don't understand. And it turns out that just all, like a vision. It was spectacular to look at, I must say. And it's just tons of old people, all chatting, walking very slowly through this mall. And about 45 minutes later, I'm like in my store and I look out, I still see them kind of, you know, down the mall, like walking and turning. And I'm like, wow, it's majestic. I got into an Uber one time and, in this Uber, I was talking to the gentleman, and he was really cool, really nice. We started, he started like really getting into talking about video games and stuff. And I was like, "Hey, man, where do you work?" And he was like, "I work at Harvey's." And I was like, "What? You work at Harvey's? That sounds like a cool gig." And he was like, "Yeah, I work at the one downtown." And I was like, "Wait, really?" And I like gave the street name, and I was like, "This one?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "You work at Hooker Harvey's?" And he was like, "Yep." "Yeah, I work at Hooker Harvey's." And I was like, dude, what is the craziest shit you've ever seen? And he didn't want to get into it too badly because I think he was a little bit embarrassed, but he was more or less was just like, you've never understood why it's called Hooker Harvey's until you've seen like two pimps argue and start tossing food at each other while the hookers that they're with just like quietly eat their meal. And I was like, huh, that's pretty wonderful. The difference between a Canadian pimp and any other pimp is at the end of the sexual escapade, they ask if it was good and ask you to fill out a survey. And if it wasn't, they say sorry and take a little bit off the price. There's another story. One of my favorite is I used to work at EB Games, which is like GameStop to Americans. And I've told this story before, but I went to close And it my first time I'd ever closed that location, but I had done many locations. I was just one of those guys where if you needed help, because you lost your assistant manager or your manager, I was just there to pick up the pieces. And so I went, and all of a sudden, I go to lock the door, and it's just me. I was given a key, and I'm closing with this girl who's very new, and she doesn't understand anything, I guess. And I go to lock the door, and the key stuck. And I was like, what? Why is the key stuck? What is going on? Why is this not the right key? Why is it stuck? It's not locking. What's going on? And I told her, I was like, why is this happening? She goes, I don't know. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna call the manager. So I call him, and I'm like, hey man, I went to close your store, but the key's stuck. And he's like, did y'all lock the left door first? And I was like, yeah. He was like, yeah, shouldn't have done that. I was like, I'm sorry. You didn't tell me that, so what am I going to do? He's like, I don't know, I'm going to call the locksmith and call the district manager. So I was like, all right. So I'm sitting there in this empty mall. It's around 9:30, and of course, security guys come in, and I knew one of them prior, and we were talking, and I was, hey, I can't do anything. I need to stay here till the locksmith comes. And they were like, oh shit. And like they tried to get the key out, wasn't working. And as we're standing there, one of them was like, I hope he comes soon, because this place gets weird after dark. I was like, what do you mean? It's a mall. Like, doesn't it just get locked up? Did you lock all the doors? He's like, yeah, that's not what I mean. And so it's like, oh, okay, well, he'll be here soon. It's around 10 o'clock, and almost like, I mean, it must have hit exactly 10 o'clock, because at that moment, all the lights go out in the entire mall. And one of the security guards is like, oh God. And I was like, oh, wow. Is that on a timer or something? He's like, yep. And I was like, so we can't turn that back on? He goes, nope. So I'm like, all right, well, let's just wait, I guess, for a little bit longer. And he's like, yeah, this place freaks me out at night, though. And I was like, why? And he's like, listen. I was like, all right, I'm just listening. And I hear it. It's children's laughter echoing throughout the mall. And I hear it, like, you can hear it perfectly. And I don't believe in ghosts or any of that stuff, because my dad could beat them up as a ghost. And I hear in the distance, though, is... And I'm done. I'm like, no, I want to leave. What is this? I'm done with the place. He's like, yeah, man, this place isn't cool after dark. I'm like, no, I don't know. No, not okay. So we're standing there, and I keep on being like, you got to tell me what's going on. I'm not gonna sit here and accept ghost children live inside this mall. And so one of them's like, no man, this is what happens, it's really creepy. And after talking to me like, nope, not accepting it, one of them finally is like, all right, let me tell you, I'll tell you what goes on. I was like, thank you, what the hell is this? And so he tells me, apparently those machines that are meant for kids that they ride, like, like a pony or a rocket ship or anything like that, have speakers attached to them that just shoot out kid laughter to lure children to ride them. And it just so happens that all the machines are in one area and on a separate generator than the fucking mall. So all night, these generators will expel children's laughter into the fucking mall. So ridiculous. I swear to God, go up to any machine that has those, like, that are for kids and try to listen to it. I shit you not, you're gonna hear it. You'll hear it, depending on how new the machine is. You'll hear the. It's fucking terrifying. And when it echoes through a silent, dark mall, it was not cool. I was not happy with it. I was upset. It was upsetting. To end the story, though, eventually the locksmith did show up, and he was drunk, and he broke the key inside the lock, and I just went home. I was like, I'm done. No, I'm not doing it. I ain't gonna live this life. I mean, should you really invite any child that knocks at your door at any time in the morning and be like, can I come in? Like, if they're not crying and looking scared, like something's chasing them, I probably wouldn't ask. I mean, if some child just knocks on my door and go, can I come in? I'll be like, what? Should I call the cop? What? There's a lot of other places here. What's going on? And I'd probably let them out there because I'm not going to let them in. But if like, they're like, I'm scared. Can I please come in? Like, I'll be like, okay, all right. Let me grab my knife first. But come on in. Fuck. Mom, stop. Mother, stop it. Mother, stop it.
I bought a V-neck and some cut-off shorts. I'm gonna be that cool mom that calls you all the time and looks hot. They're gonna call me Yummy Mummy.
Jesus. As a former GameStop EB Games representative, I can tell you, Janet, that you should be able to pre-order games for free now, locking in that day one DLC without any intention of purchasing the game at launch. Thank you for calling EB Games, your best place to trade and save. Kevin speaking. That is actually how I used to answer the phone. I'm not killing it. We're going to catch it because it's our encounter. Which means if y'all want to get rolling to name it, go ahead. Sudapudo. Not perfect. Couldn't even think of a better name, actually. All right, we're going to have another encounter very quickly. Mom, stop calling. I don't need to hear about your new boyfriend all the fucking time, Mom. It's really hard. What are we going to be naming? What are we going to be naming? Magnemite? Magna-Rad. Oh, I can't type. Despacito. Despaborito. Oh, and then perfect. That actually perfectly fits, too. If y'all don't know, that is my spirit animal. That is Steve Buscemi's face on a guinea pig. That is what I see when I close my eyes while high and in my nightmares. And am I treating someone burnt? It's just my spirit animal. Nah, I'm already somewhat fit. I just gotta work out and I'll be good. I am not fit. I sweat when I eat. So not fit I am. I get the meat sweats real easy. Oh, what happened to him? Sorry, you're actually like, what actually? Oh, do you really want me to get into that? I will. It's not funny though. Ghost, unfortunately, I had since I was, 4 years old. Ghost, unfortunately, just started to get old, and when I was almost out of high school, started to get really, really sick. I used to take him to a vet a lot, and I spent all my life savings on trying to keep him. And then one day, they told me that they were gonna do one of the things they could do. Thank you so much for the birthdays. I'm telling a really sad story while you guys are saying my birthdays. Thank you so much for the birthdays. And there was one time that they basically said it was going to be something like tomorrow. So in, I guess, 50 minutes, it's my birthday. They basically said, do you want to spend $8,000 trying to keep your cat alive? And they made me try to be really guilty about it, these vets, and I got really mad about it. And I was basically like, my question to them, and this is where it actually pissed me off. My question to the vet was, hey, will it make him better? Will he have a normal life? And they effectively said was, he'll have a life that you can, he'll be living for you, is what they said. Effectively, and that pissed me off because I don't want him to be in pain and living for me. That's garbage. I'd rather him honestly pass away peacefully if that meant he was unhurt. So I basically kind of told him to go fuck yourself. You're trying to get $8,000 out of me for something that you can't promise will make him better, and you can't promise will even work. You just want my money. That's ridiculous. I'm not doing that. So instead, I told my job I'm not coming in for a week. I'm using my vacation or sick days, whatever you want to do. I'm just going to stay at home with my cat. And I did. And I stayed at home with him, and he eventually got too weak to even go to the litter box. So I would pick him up and I would carry him into the litter box so he'd do his business. And then I'd take him back upstairs, and I sat next to him watching on my laptop, just watching South Park. And I Eventually he got so weak that he could barely like flip over, but he was getting uncomfortable because he couldn't move. So he'd meow at me like, "Meow," and I'd pick him up very softly, very gently, and I'd flip him over to one side, and then he'd purr and kind of fall asleep again. And I did that for him for a couple days until he started to do some heavy breathing, and I held him. And like watching, I stared at him. I watched one eye kind of dilate open, and I watched the other eye dilate. And it was in that moment, mixed with the heavy breathing and the eyes dilating, that I knew he was gone. And I didn't cry until way later. Not way later, like an hour later, as I stared at him, and I just did his last little breath. Now, to put a double little thing on that, 'cause I'm actually tearing up a little bit. Put a double thing on that was my dad, who was still alive at that time, came into my room, and he saw me, what I had been doing for this cat for weeks and longs, and how I wanted just the best for him. And it was maybe, a year later that my dad died. And I remember going to him in the hospital, and he said, "Son, I knew it was all gonna be okay, because I saw how you cared for that cat, and so I knew you care for me the same." And that really got to me, because my dad knew his mortality in that moment when he saw me taking care of my cat. And and he didn't feel as scared anymore to leave. Which, it's crazy. I don't know how he was such a smart man, but anyway, that was real. It's crazy. This whole 2.5 years of my life were nuts. Anyway, I'm gonna stop tearing up. I'm gonna start feeling so. It's emotional, chaps. I'm sorry about that. Whoa, woo! Lost some viewers on that one. The only part that really made me cry when my dad was passing. The only real part. I mean, I cried every once in a while, but the part that really got to me and I couldn't hold my tears anymore is my dad was super computer savvy. Super computer savvy. Built his computer since, the 70s, and, had password protection upon password protection about password protection about, whatever and this and that. And I remember he was in the hospital, and me and my dad had to have a real conversation where I was like, "Dad, I need your passwords. I need your passwords so we can get into everything that you need, so me and my mom aren't left without any of the, insurance names or whatever, and I can get into your computer, all right?" And he was like, "Okay." And so I took out a notepad, and I was like, "So what are the passwords, Dad?" And I couldn't hold myself, because it very quickly turned out that every single one of my father's passwords were related to me. Be it the first day I went to school, be it my birthday, be it my fucking one of them was rainbow pterodactyl, which was a fake imaginary creature that I'd come up with when I was 4 years old, and that was a password. And just every single one of them was related to me, and my heart couldn't do it. I had to I couldn't deal with it. It was too much for me, and I just cried for an hour about it. It was really, really something. I was just blown away by it. Oh God. Oh, it was so ridiculous. It was almost like he had planned it. It was just so, yeah. Oh, we got a haunter, thank God. I remember my dad, to me, is this really intelligent, bearded huge giraffe who was wise. He wasn't just intelligent. He understood. And what would happen is, he was a psychologist. He was a CEO. He was a writer. Like, he was a bunch of things. He was a poetry. He would write poetry for my mom and leave it across the house. And he would leave it signed HRC, which I didn't understand as a kid. I was like, why would you say HRC? That's not your initials. I found out later in life is HRC stands for His Royal Cuteness, which is the funniest fucking thing to imagine my father being named, just purely based on like how he is, like a giant pot-bellied giraffe with a huge beard who looks like a wizard. Like, it doesn't compute to be called His Royal Cuteness, but it made me laugh. I remember I had a conversation with my dad once. This is where it gets a little sad, less funny. And I remember with my dad, I was always like, I don't know how this came up to be, but I was basically like, Dad, what would we do? Because he didn't work anymore. He retired to take care of me, so my mom did all the work. And I was basically like, that is perfect. Yeah, it was perfect. So I was basically like, Dad, what would we do if, like, what do we do? Like, you would have to work again if mom unfortunately like passed or something, because I think mom had just broke her leg, and so I was a little bit worried. And my dad like straight panned was like, oh no, I'd die. And I was like, what? And I was like, oh no, if your mom leaves or passes or something, it's over for me. I would try to make it so you can live somewhere, but I'm done. I'm done as a thing. Like, there's no living past it. I was like, oh my God. And he's like, but if I pass, your mom's fine. She'll be fine. I was like, what do you mean? He was like, your mom is such an outgoing, outrageous, charismatic person. She'd be fine. But if she goes, I'm over with. It's done for me. I ain't living anybody else. I ain't living anymore. And I remember that conversation. I was like, what the fuck? Like, what? All right. The only reason why I bring this up is because every once in a while, when my mom feels sad about my dad passing, which has now been like 6 or 7 years now. I still feel sad. I still feel sad sometimes. But every time she feels like, oh, I miss him, blah, 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 blah. Oh, if I die to a pursuit. Good. I remind her of that. I remind her of that conversation I had with my dad many, many, many years ago, and it makes her laugh every time, because she can imagine him saying it, because he did. Because that's how he thought. He was a very, very wise guy. One of my favorite things he ever did, actually, we were at Wild Water Kingdom, which is effectively like a water park in Canada. And this little girl, first of all, my dad would not leave the lazy river. We would get there and he would plant his butt in a tube and just stay on the lazy river. The lazy river is a slow ass ride that just takes you all around the park, but he wouldn't leave it because he's big and doesn't want to do anything. And we'd just we'd run rampant. My mom's like running all over the place, and I'm kind of just doing whatever, and my dad's just in the lazy river. Now I'm in the lazy river with him, but I'm kind of far away, and I see this little girl go up to my dad. And my dad has a great big beard, and he's, as I said, big. So this little girl goes up to him and goes, "Are you Santa Claus?" And my father, like, reaches down, like, puts his head close and goes, "Shh, I'm on vacation." And like, goes back to his position, and the little girl's like face blew up, and she like swam over to her family, and she was so happy. I was like, wow, you just made that little girl's like forever. Like, she's gonna remember that for forever. Except when she's like 17 and she's like, wait a minute. Hold on. All right, let's fight Big Ass. It's a big asshole. Come on, do less than half. Do less than half. Nope, it's doing exactly half. I am gonna die. I'm gonna die to this thing. I can't lose Rockcock. I can't. I have to sacrifice somebody else. I have to sacrifice somebody else. It's either Hiplord or Alice. All right, you know what? Get out there, Hip Lord. You're gonna die for us because I need the switch in. I need the initiative. Bye, Hip Lord. I'm so sorry. Okay. That's still fine because that gives us a turn to heal Rock Cock. More like Rip Cock, right? Like a sauna. Someone's swimming. I just found so weird. There was a bunch of naked guys. There's some places like that. Goodbye, Hip Lord. I loved you, but I couldn't do it. Oh, fuck. Well, we did lose somebody, which sucks, but it's the nature of the lock. Mom, I don't have time for this right now. Hip Lord is unfortunately gone. He's actually pretty good. Oh, they both have sturdy. That's actually perfect for what we want to accomplish. Yeah, these are all Pokemon we've caught, aren't they? Nope, there it is, our coughing. Tug on what? These nuts. Look at this, look at this. Look at this nonsense. Look at this physical attacking Haunter. He's scared of he ain't afraid of no ghosts. Call the Ghostbusters. He's 36 attack. But he's not afraid of no ghosts. Bustin' makes him feel good. Ah, fuck, I should have done something. That's okay, we'll be fine. I should have given Shell Bell to Haunter, just in case. But it won't matter. Morty's going down. Hey Morty, where's Rick? Oh, level 21? Oh no, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? The answer's nothing, and we're gonna destroy you. Done. My favorite food. Dude, that's a great favorite food. My favorite food used to be sushi, but I can't eat it anymore, so my favorite food is definitely meat, more meat. This goes karate in action. Ain't nothing. He ain't nothing. They ain't nothing. Get nerd, fucked. What, Gengar? This is actually where I fear. This is actually where fear comes from, because you could have a Shadow Ball and then I'm fucked. Oh, 25. Holy shit. That's actually crazy powerful. Oh, does he have Shadow Ball? Oh, he has a berry? He did have Shadow Ball. We might lose. You can have Sashimi, and I have a lot of Sashimi. And that's where it comes to an end, folks! Oh my god, we just lost Purple Ball. I knew it, and then I missed too. Oh my god. And Hypnosis? Come on, man. We didn't get the first turn sleep. Fuck, come on, get up. That Shadow Ball's gonna be way too much. Stop. Okay, we can't lose Rock Cock. I forgot if I do roll out, I can't change. There goes Rock Cock. This is it. Wow, wow. That just happened. Why do you have to hit Hypnosis? Why do you gotta hit Hypnosis? Come on. I'm fast asleep too. The Shadow Ball kills. Wow, I was even over leveled, but it didn't matter. It literally mattered not, and I'm still asleep. All right, well, that's that. I gotta sacrifice another Pokemon, which probably has to meet Alice. Fuck me. Like, there goes Alice. I literally just need to hit. He can't hit Hypnosis every time, right? Right? Hypnosis, more like hit noses. Oh my god. And there goes Alice. This is it. And then I have to start. Fuck me. All right. Despacito. Fortunately, Desperate fucking Cito. I don't want him to die, but it seems. We're just gonna heal Marchand. Do I have an awakening? Don't kill. Live. Nope. Which means, unfortunately, We have to go into Space Odyssey and just sacrifice that off now. Fuck me. All right. Status, Awakening, and we just gotta hope. We just gotta hope. Rockcock. Rip Alice. All right. We basically gotta hope. That's fine. We gotta hope that he doesn't kill, and I hit with. He doesn't hypnosis. Is basically it. That we can kill with a flame wheel. He missed. That's it. That's it. Come on. What? Yeah, and he uses a hyper potion because you're a nerd. You're a straight junkie nerd. You're a nerd. Mean look, fuck me. I can't even use smoke screen. I can't even use smoke screen. That's so obnoxious. And he critted. And he critted. That's that. That's that. Wow. All right, we'll just deposit all of them and start our new team. Goodbye. Goodbye, the faithfuls. Fiery Soul. What do we even have left? Okay, we have Sudowoodo, which is nice. We have Coughing, which is also cool. You know what? I don't feel too... because we still have some pretty cool Pokemon left. So... that's what we're going to do. Of course, as you know, I'm not ending the Nuzlocke once I lose out because I want to use all the Pokemon that you guys have named. So it just means that we have to do a lot of training and get them all back up to par. But I can do that on the next stream. No, I don't want Rat Tits, actually. I'd rather go with Forcekin. Let's get Jaden Yuki. Let's get Coffin. He's good. We'll get Pseudopudo. You see, that's maybe would have worked. Rip Team. Yeah, but it also would have been... you have to remember, bowling chaps. He critted. He critted. I should have lived that, but he critted. Because of course he'd crit. Right? I guess we do take Rat Tits, actually, because he can use Pursuit. Alright, well, there you go. That's the team that we're going to have next stream. Fuck me. Thank you for the stream. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here on my birthday. Okay, I'm back. Did Marshawn die? Everybody died. Everybody died. It was a fucking wipe. It was a wipe because of hypnosis. You big giraffe. I love you too. Wow, I'm salty. I'm salty. I'm salty on my birthday. Salty on my birthday. Ugh.